Coach, just you guys are a week into practice so far, just how you feel the group is progressing, and the fact you had everybody in spring, how much does that help with carrying over?
It's been awesome, right? Because obviously that knowledge of what they gained in the spring, it's allowing them to be competitive early, right? So from the older guys to the younger guys, I couldn't be more ecstatic because, I mean, it's dudes that they're working hard and they're earning their stripes, and we got a big opportunity this year to fill some huge roles, obviously, and they're excited for the opportunity.
How have you seen Elija Lofton? I mean, obviously last year there were a bunch of veterans who were playing ahead of him. Now it seems like there's a lot of attention turned his way. So just how have you seen him handle that, just like mentally, emotionally, kind of handle the bigger share of the responsibility?
Yeah. Obviously, he had a small sample size of what he could do last year with the room he had, but he's taken that role and he's embraced it as a leader, and he knows that it's his opportunity to really take that next step, and he's excited for it, and he's put in the necessary preparation. I believe that it won't fail him in the end, right? He's showing up every day on Green Tree, right? That's where, as coaches, you want to see, because that's going to be your reality on game day. I tell them every single day, what's your preparation and your practice performance? That's going to be your reality on game day, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out there and he could be a dominant football player.
How do you think he's progressed, just like on the field over the course of spring into the first 5-6 practices?
Yeah, it's just like any young guy, right? It's reps, right? He's gaining knowledge and communication at the line of scrimmage to his route running detail and understanding, the details of that aspect of it. So it's really just detailing his game up on both sides of it, run game and pass game. So he's done an unbelievable job so far.
Luke is a physical specimen. How's he grasping everything this first week? Where's he standing?
Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, like I said, he's right in the hunt. He's in that pack of those young guys that are competing. He's taking reps with the 2s and the 3s primarily right now, but I mean, he's made some great plays throughout camp so far, right? And his progression for him is, with him being such a massive individual, right, and is really straining for pad level in the run game and playing with the base and demeanor where he can lift people, right? And I think as he grows at that, right, the sky's the limit for him.
Back to Elija, the fact that, and you said it was small sample size, you guys trying to find ways just to get him on the field last year. Knowing that he's going to have a defined role and have a defined spot in there, just how much will that help his development, knowing that you guys are going to have to utilize him a pretty good bit this year compared to just getting out there and spurt time?
Yeah, and I truthfully, I think it comes down to urgency, right? When you're one of the guys, right, your urgency picks up. As a young guy, especially when you're in a deep room like we had last year, you can, as a coach, put him in places where he's going to be successful. But now he knows first, second, third down, fourth down, when he's got to be ready to roll and be ready to execute everything that we do at tight end. So I think that urgency, as you get older, right, it picks up, right? And again, he wants that. So the expectation for himself is super high.
I remember back in the spring, like Alex talked about how he did pretty well catching the ball at Tulane, and he needed to work on some blocking. How have you seen him progress in that regard?
He's done an unbelievable job. Al's came in and he's put his head down every single day, and his progression that he's made here physically, what he's done for his body. He's up about 10, 12 pounds the way he played at last year. He's done an unbelievable job for us, and I could not be more happier that he's here with us and the way he's performing. He's showing up every day like a veteran, what you would expect. He's doing exactly what you would expect him to do.
At this previous school, Carson was around some really good tight ends.
Yeah.
Can you tell he has an appreciation for your position group, for your group?
Yeah, 100%. He obviously a veteran guy, and he's, like you alluded to, he's been around some very high-level guys in that position, right? And his appreciation for what we do and his knowledge, and you probably have heard every coach come through here, like Carson's base and knowledge that he has is a very high volume. And his appreciation of even what we do in pass protection, the run game, to what we have to do pass game wise. Again, it's a tight end, right? You got to be asked to do everything, right? So his appreciation for it is high. So we've had some good conversations, and he's got some good wrinkles for us that I'm excited to see too. So we'll be able to utilize his brain as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think you kind of touched on almost everyone besides Brock Johnson. How have you seen him kind of progress since fall camp?
Truthfully, he's kind of on the same trajectory as Big Luka right now, right? Both of them are obviously different in size and skill set a little bit, but Brock's the same thing, right? For any young guy, right? It's just that the reps. The more reps that they stack on top of each other, you're going to see the better and better they get. And again, I said this earlier when I spoke to the media earlier in fall camp. Those two guys and the way Brock shows up every single day and works is the testament of him, right? And he's one of the hardest working kids I've been around, and he just keeps sticking with it and stacking reps. He's going to be a phenomenal football player.
Coach, can you put into words just a challenge for your position up for freshmen to step into college, just the tight end position in general. There's a lot that's going on.
Yeah, it is. It's, for us, right, in the system that we run here, right, we're running a pro-style conceptual run game with a lot of communication, mic identification. So that's probably the biggest thing for him in the front seven aspect of it is truly understand who you're blocking. Like, right, we block people here. Like, we don't really block space. So the communication part of it's like learning a new language. Then in the pass game, it's understanding details of it, right? At the high school level, it's a lot of times they're bigger, faster, and stronger, right? So they can make plays. And at this level, you got to understand how to beat man coverage and attack leverage, and understand when it's zone, you work a certain type of cut, and when it's man coverage, you work a different type of cut, right? It's not rocket science, but again, it just takes reps, right? And then you combine it with pass protection rules, right? So it's all phases of it. It's really where it's verbiage and reps from understanding the detail part of it is where they'll separate, because they're all phenomenal athletes. And the detail and understanding that piece of it and be able to play fast, that's the biggest learning curve for most young guys.
Just practicing here now that when you say Elija, everyone knows who you're talking to?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, we had Big E and Little E last year, so that's how we kind of divvied it up. So it's been good for us. So yes, it makes it a little easier. Because last year they both would look at me like I had 3 eyeballs. I was like, I'm talking to this one. So it's been pretty good. So it's been fun.
Just kind of going back with Elija, you spoke about him essentially being ready for this role. Can you provide examples or something, meeting rooms out here, just that he's essentially ready to take on this? I know you said he's embraced it, but do you have something you can provide?
I truthfully, it's just, like I said, it's urgency. You can tell, like, he knows, again, when you know, like, you have an opportunity in front of you like that, your urgency is just, it's the way he shows up in the morning, right? As a young guy, right, you have to learn those habits of falling like a guy like Elijah Arroyo. Every morning you look out here at 6 a.m., he's walking through the practice script before coaches even talk to him, right? So it's just that urgency of that preparation aspect of it is where you see the biggest growth in him. And he knows his opportunity's coming. He's excited for, again, to take the bull by the horns, they would say, and take it for a ride. So he's excited for it.
Any other questions for Coach?
I've noticed in the spring and now in the fall, Owen Ruskovich, I know he's like a walk-on, but he has the size and like a typical tight end. Just what have you seen from him? Is he, as a walk-on as an option, is he intriguing for you guys?
Oh, he's done it. He's taken great quality reps for us, man. He's a guy that, truthfully, I'll say it in front of all guys. He's arguably the hardest working guy in the room, right? And you've heard me say that about a couple guys, right? Everybody I've talked about, like, I'm blessed as a coach because of those guys and the mentality that they take every day. And Owen's at the top of the list with that. Man. His preparation is why he has went from a walk-on to a scholarship player for us, and like he's earned that right. And again, that's a testament to him. He wakes up early, he goes to bed early, he does everything that you could exactly want for a coach that wants in a player. So I couldn't be more happy for Owen. If he keeps earning the stripes and performing at a high level, he'll get his opportunity. And the way he prepares, when that opportunity comes, there's no doubt in my mind that he'll be ready for it.